Prabhupada there sitting? Okay. Prahlada Maharaja said, "My Lord, it is your Lordship who gave this Bali the very great opulence of the post of heavenly king. And now today, it is you who have taken it all away." Anybody here for the first time? It is a very, very instructive sloka. Because the situation is being unfolded, which is very unique in the history of the universe. Srimad-Bhagvatam was compiled by Srila Vyasadeva at the peak of his maturity, and he was enabled by the Lord to see both past, present and future, and then he selected the events that needs to be narrated. And then Srimad-Bhagvatam was written. So, these narrations are very, very, very important, and they are unlimited in their meaning. As our own understanding in spiritual life goes up by service, then Bhagavatam will take new meanings. Isn't it? Yasasti Bhagavati Bhaktir. That's a different verse. Yasya deve parabhakti yata deve tata gurau tasyaiva hi kahita artha prakashantastu mahatmanaha. The real import of the Vedic literatures will only be revealed to such a person who has got real bhakti for the Lord, and just as he has for the Lord, he has for the spiritual master, which means Srila Prabhupada. We should not be foolishly thinking that this refers to anybody else. This is the most important point that I want to always convey. There's a whole Siddhanta behind it, but I don't want to speak about that. Because if you don't understand this, we can never progress in spiritual life. Zero. Prabhupada writes in the book that you cannot make a pinch of a progress. You can put it in the Veda base, pinch of a progress. You cannot make pinch of a progress without the mercy of the pure devotee. Anyway, let us come back to useless discussion, then we'll all be happy. So, I have a very low opinion of my classes, but if at all there is any meaning to what I speak, it is this point only I am always desiring to communicate, because it cannot be understood easily. Anyway, the path of spiritual life is hidden. Like I was giving last time class, I explained that if you put a green glass, everything will look green. Right? I gave the example or not? Huh? I gave last time. How many heard this green glass example? You were there last time? So, I just want to elaborate on that example a little bit more. That suppose I was blind and somebody gave me one miracle glass by which I can see, but the glass is green. Then, although I see everything green, this looks like a green table but it's brown, I can use it. It looks like a green bottle, but I can drink water. So the green glass is quite okay for living in the world, but it's not good enough to see the sun as it is. So like that, up to animal life, we are blind, completely blind. An animal cannot know by reason things. Of course, even the animal has his own reasoning, because the subtle body is there too. But the gross body is not very good. Just like you are a pilot, but you have a car, you cannot fly. You cannot say, now I am a pilot, I will fly. No, but the car is not a plane. Like that, although the same subtle body is there in animal and lower lives, you cannot use them to think, reason, otherwise mind, intelligence and false ego is there. And that is why they are acting. Srila Prabhupada said that even a creeper, when it is growing, if there is a parapet, it will go like that. So Prabhupada said, how does he know? He's got intelligence. So every living entity, even a bacteria, has intelligence. But it's manifest in a very small way. But when in the human form of life, we get this mind, intelligence, false ego acting, and through that process we actually understand the Bhagavatam. We are reading, we are understanding. A cat or a dog cannot read Bhagavatam. But a human being is able to read the scriptures, and when we especially read it through Prabhupada's books and understand, that is like the green glass. And it is so powerful already that we can understand in the world things as they are, give it up to some extent and we become devotees. But it is not enough to actually see. So the book Bhagavatam should be understood as it is. And for that we need the mercy of the person Bhagavatam. Only then we can begin to understand things as they are. Otherwise we can spend lifetime studying. Krishna has already certified in Bhagavad Gita that from the topmost personality to the bottommost, nobody is free from the three modes of material nature. Nobody. Everybody is attracted by the three modes of nature. So, when we become devotees, we have to realize that the path is very long and it can be traversed only by the mercy of the Acharya. So there are 4 stages one can think in doing devotion. One stage is where you don't think of Krishna at all, and people are simply interested in material enjoyment. Still they are following Krishna's path, mama vartamanuvartante manushya partha sarvasaha, but they don't know. So there are unlimited living beings in this world who are very busy working and trying to enjoy the body as much as possible, and such persons are not entitled to enter spiritual life at all. Then they come in touch with religion and they do punya and they make little progress on the path of dharma, and they succeed in the material world because they have done dharma. They get health, wealth, fame, become a big businessman, you become a big political leader, like that. Then, if you are very fortunate, one life in long passage of many lifetimes of doing religion, going to temple, or break coconut, or give charity, go to the temple, some great festival is there, you sponsor, Kalash, A, O. But you continue your material life, this is dharma. And if you are very fortunate, after many lifetimes where you get fulfilled in your material desires, Krishna makes you fail in material life. Shri Radha Ras Bihari Lalita Vishakha ji ki jai, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. See, fail. Materially. Such a person, if he takes up drinking whiskey because he has failed in life, it means that he is unlucky, bad karma. But when adversity comes and because of that he remembers Krishna more, he is fortunate. Srila Prabhupada, once I heard the tape, Prabhupada, somebody came and asked Prabhupada, one Indian, why Krishna is making me suffer so much? And Prabhupada said, you are very lucky. He said, because you are wondering why Krishna is making me suffer and you are thinking about Krishna. But suppose Krishna gave you a lot of material facilities and you forgot Krishna. That's not so nice. So if you are remembering Krishna, suffering is better than enjoyment, forgetting Krishna. So you are lucky, Prabhupada said. Of course, you can remember Krishna and we can also want to be happy, and that is also there. That's the next higher stage. So, material failure becomes impetus to come to spiritual life. And then when you come to spiritual life, for many, many lifetimes you perform. Hundreds and thousands of lifetimes. And you succeed. You see, in spiritual life, you feel happy, you are coming and doing this and that. And you become big sadhu, you become famous, you get thousands of disciples, you make crores of rupees. You are the best book distributor in the temple. A temple commander, your vice president, president, sannyasi, you go like that. Everything looks nice. That is one spiritual life. After a long time, you fail in spiritual life. That is not ordinary failure that you cannot understand. That is being displayed by Bali Maharaj. In other words, he has done nothing wrong. He actually pleased Krishna. Right? Isn't that the story of Bali Maharaj? He gave Vaman Dev 3 steps of land against the instruction of his Kulaguru. He has risked everything in order to please Vishnu. And Vishnu is making life difficult for him. Like a very common thief, he was put there and tied up. But Bali Maharaj was very, very peaceful, prasanta. How? You see? That is very different. You are actually doing something that the Acharya wants, and you are doing something that the Krishna wants, and nothing succeeds. At that time, you are not disturbed at all. That is not like ordinary failure. That is nothing, there is nothing, not so good about it, inauspicious. It's not that you had illicit contact or this or that. That is different. This is, difficulty, which is, of course, everything comes from Krishna. It's very difficult to understand. But this kind of test is possible only for those who have actually really, really evolved in spiritual life. Everybody cannot take it. After that comes the stage you do spiritual life and you are fully successful. Anandam Ambudhi Vardhanam. Then it's always ever increasing. But even then, Krishna is always, acting in such ways as to increase the love of his devotees. All very difficult topics. So you can see the sign that this was Krishna's special arrangement, because Bali Maharaj was not perturbed. He was very happy. So those who understand, they can appreciate how Krishna is acting very intimately with Bali Maharaj. And Prahlada Maharaja is one such person, his grandfather, who is actually seeing this and is saying, you put the same Bali Maharaj in a greatly opulent position where he could even defeat Indra and become the king of heaven. And now you have taken everything away from him. But Krishna doesn't take everything away simply. He also gives something. What is that? That is that he gives himself. Sevye swasya padasya datari sure. Sura means devotees, and for these devotees he gives himself. And only those persons who have understood that Krishna is better than material things, Krishna is better than everything else, spiritual also, Brahman, liberation. Only to such persons Krishna take those things away and give himself. Because for Bali Maharaj he is going to become a doorkeeper. So Krishna is dealing like that with every devotee, all of you also, not only Bali Maharaj, all of you also in your life. And therefore we must become Krishna conscious, which means we should always see how Krishna is acting in our lives. When we see that how Krishna is acting, then we can be like Bali Maharaj, and then we can become always happy, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, because we are understanding Krishna. So this life, Srila Prabhupada said, is always meant for increasing our Krishna consciousness. Of course, life is measured in terms of time. And so time is like the fuel. Like if you want to go from here to Delhi or Pune by car, time is the gasoline, time is the petrol. When in the Gadi petrol khatam ho jayega, then you're finished. You can't go forward. Similarly, when time is finished, then we cannot go forward. So supposing you are driving from here to Delhi and you get to Nagpur and petrol is over. Oh my God. Then what to do? You have to stop, you have to again take petrol. Like that, in human life, if we waste our life, because exactly the amount of petrol you needed for Delhi is given. So if you go exactly in the same path, same route, you don't deviate a little bit, then when the petrol is over, you come to Delhi. But if you waste the petrol, you'll give. Similarly, the time that is given to every living entity, every human being in particular, is enough to become fully Krishna conscious. And if we waste, then no matter what we say, when the time runs out, we will be short of Krishna consciousness. We should never forget that. Therefore, we have to always be conscious. It's not possible, but at least we can say, because one of the qualities of a pure devotee is that he never wastes time. 26 qualities of a pure devotee. One is that he never wastes time. So time is the fuel for life's journey. And Prabhupada says here, material opulence is sometimes dangerous. Material opulence means it is not necessary that one should be very, very rich or he is a king or a big politician. No. Even if you are a beggar, the body you have is an amazing body. It's an opulence. The human body is itself a great opulence. We don't need anything beyond this body. Therefore, Shukadeva Goswami says in the second canto, why you want a pillow? Use your hand. Why you want a bed? Lie down on the floor. Why you want food? Fruits are falling from the tree. Why you have to work hard? And he says, use your energy only to serve Krishna. And he asks, I don't have anything. How to serve? You have a tongue. And simply chant. Nothing more is needed. If you want water, there is a river. If you want food, there is actually fruits. And if you want shelter, there is a tree. If you want a bed, there is ground. And if you want a pillow, there is a hand. And you sleep. And you execute the process of life, which is simply chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we must understand that it is not, opulence doesn't simply mean other decorations, but the human body itself is a great opulence. And we simply misuse this body. It cannot be avoided. It cannot be avoided. But at least when we are Krishna conscious, trying Krishna consciousness, then we should not waste time. So that good intelligence comes from mercy. And the bad intelligence is that now I have become devotee, I'm fine. Now I'll preach, and then when the life's end comes, you will see that sign is saying Nagpur, and Delhi is 2,760 kilometers, and the fuel is showing empty. Close to empty. What were you going to do? Then we will become very unhappy and morose. So it requires great good fortune, great good association to always remember that I am on the dangerous path. But you have become also fortunate that you have given everything up and you have come to the temple. So it's very fortunate that you have this position. This position is wonderful, but we should know that I shall not treat it lightly. This is also one kind of opulence, to be in the temple and to be able to be a full-time devotee, to come every day to the temple, worship, take prasadam. It is said that even Indra is waiting to get prasadam, 1 grain. But for all of you and all of us, Krishna is sending prasad 3 times a day, 4 times a day. He is taking care of all of us. Oh, devotees are there properly. Wow. So prasadam comes to us. Devotee goes to upstairs. He says, give me some prasadam. You get. Everything you require is being taken care of by Krishna personally. So it's a great opulence. You are living in probably the best house in Bombay. Not probably, it is. Isn't it? Even the richest person in Bombay doesn't have a house like this. And we are living here. And wherever we go in any city, we have place, house. It's opulence. How many people have a house to go to in London, New York, Copenhagen? But if you are preaching and you go wherever you go, you just tell the devotees there, I'm coming, and they come and pick you up. You go, some devotees there, and they bring you nice prasadam, Raj Bhog. And you sleep, you go for Mangalarti. It's amazing. But we must always think that you cannot think, we cannot think, that's a blessing. So if you are doing service, what is the blessing? By service you realize, I'm not a devotee. By service you feel, I'm becoming a devotee. That's also okay. Beginning, that is good, that's necessary. But higher taste is that you realize, I'm not a devotee. And you can realize that from the beginning if you are very intelligent and very fortunate. So, Bali Maharaj is being shown as an example. He is not an ordinary person. He is already great Mahabhagavat. But he is being used. Just like sometimes a big karate master will come. You ask him to show some. He goes to the school and he has to give demo. Then he calls his best student, who is very good. And then with that student, he will show all the moves. He cannot show it with you or me because we don't know how to move and we don't know. And the student knows what the teacher wants him to do, so he'll just move left, right, like this. And sometimes he'll put him down. Ground maze. Then he's okay, no problem. He knows that he's teaching others. Similarly, Bali Maharaj knows Krishna has a purpose. He's being used as an example. He has no problems. Same thing with Arjuna. Krishna could not say to the foolish people of the material world, okay, I have come, I am ready to speak Bhagavad Gita. Anybody? No. People are not interested. I mean, even if he says something, they cannot understand. But Arjuna understands and he is asking questions. Oh, like this, like this, like this. And then Bhagavad Gita came. Otherwise, Bhagavad Gita cannot come. So, similarly, Krishna's pastimes cannot be done by Krishna alone. He needs his devotees because they understand him. Because Krishna's purpose in coming to the material world is to show everybody what is the path of devotional, sublime path of spiritual life. In the sublime path of spiritual life, success comes when you begin to experience failure. Not failure by our methods, but failure by Krishna's will. Wow. You see? It is not that I don't know driving and I go and hit everything and then I say, oh, it is Krishna's mercy. No, you nonsense. You don't know how to drive. But if you drive very well and then the So the government of Krishna puts roadblocks on the path of the devotee. So Krishna is telling all of us that don't think it's a free ride. I want to show you by test that you need to give up more. But you should be ready for that. Otherwise he won't do it. So this is a great mercy, he says, I can give only to the devotees. So am I being tested? No, then I'm not a devotee. Because when Krishna is testing the advanced devotee, his thinking of Krishna becomes more deep. He understands, wow, Krishna is doing this to me. Oh, it's very nice. The understanding of Krishna that you get from such tests is very deep. Just like when you study in school, the teacher is giving a test. The teacher knows already you are Buddhu. But if you are a brilliant boy, he also knows you are a brilliant boy. But when he gives a test, the brilliant boy can see he is brilliant, and the foolish fellow can see he is foolish, because after the test, the brilliant boy gets 99 and the foolish boy gets 29. So in life, by Krishna's testing, the real devotee advances, the non-devotee dies. Because the opulence of this life is what? The human body. And that human body is taken by Krishna. And he dies. Therefore Krishna says, Sarvasya harati ma mrityu. In the form of death, everything I actually destroy. But for devotees also is destroying, but it is actually increasing everything. Material opulence, spiritual opulence, very difficult to understand. Therefore Prabhupada gave the example that the cat, when he is catching the rat is dead, but when he is catching his child, the kitten is very happy. Therefore, we want to actually experience more and more Krishna. We are experiencing already. Every day we come for Mangalarti, every day we hear class, every day we kirtan, like that. We do service. But the real thing is that we have to experience Krishna more and more and more deeply. And that comes by test. So when the test is given, the teacher already knows where the student is, but the student also knows. Otherwise, if the teacher at the end of the year says, okay, he got 99 marks, he got 29, people will say, "Kyun? Unko kyun 99 diya, mujhe kyun 29 diya?" No, you didn't read well. No, I read well, very difficult. I read all day, all night I read. Oh, okay, here is the test. So the test or the objective means by which Krishna shows everybody samoham sarva bhuteshu. Otherwise it will look like he is partial. So how can you come to the platform of being tested by Krishna? That is not so easy. Once Sri Vikrama Swami was telling me, I don't remember the exact story, but he said either Prabhupada asked him or he asked Prabhupada that, it was a very testing time for me, something he said. And Prabhupada said, yes, it's very testing. And then he asked him, he was giving massage to Prabhupada, and he asked Prabhupada, has Krishna tested you? And Prabhupada said, yes. And he said, how? He said, that I cannot tell you. You cannot take it. We cannot take it. Therefore, Krishna gives a test according to everybody's ability, but the test is important for us to know what is our position. But in order to get a test, you have to first do the course. Class mein nahi join kiya, kahan test aayega? Therefore, you have to join Krishna consciousness. And pehla din nahi de sakta hai test. Oh, now class has begun, here is the test. What is it? You didn't teach anything, how can I do a test? Therefore, he teaches. So we are being taught now. In the beginning, first week, second week. After 1 month, 2 months, or year end, test will come. So it's an advanced stage for testing.